it's Lisa Rubel from 𝐿𝐿𝐲, and today I'm going to walk you through month 2 of the Medallion Magic Block of the Month from 𝐿𝐿𝐲 Fabrics. If you've found this video but haven't yet jumped on the Medallion Magic bandwagon, head over to the 𝐿𝐿𝐲 website and look for Medallion Magic Block of the Month and grab one of the kits. Then each month in your email you'll receive instructions for that month's block, as well as a link to a video showing you how to put the block together. You'll receive all of the fabric at once, and then the block instructions and videos will come out each month until we're done. So in month 1, we made the center of our block of the month, the center of our medallion, which was this star. And for month 2, we're going to be adding these green star points on, and then 2 borders. And then we will continue adding more pieced rows and borders in other months until we finish the quilt. So let's get started on month 2. So as I said, for month 2, we're going to be adding star points to our center star from last month. So we're going to be doing that with the same quick corner method of adding squares to a rectangle. I'm going to show you how to do that, and then we'll talk about some tips for cutting and adding borders. So I'm going to set month 1, this block, aside for a bit while we make the units for month 2. So for month 2, we're going to be using sand background rectangles and then these olive squares to go on top. So what we're going to start out doing is drawing lines on the wrong side of these olive squares. And I just do it with a pencil. You can also use some type of fabric marking pen if you have one that you like. And you want to make sure your ruler is lined up so that you are marking the line from corner to corner. So depending on how wide your marking utensil is, your ruler may not be lined up exactly in the corner. So I've got 2 done. I'm going to do that with 6 more, and I will have 8 olive squares with a line marked on the back side of them. Our next step is to take the sand rectangle and lay an olive marked square on the corner. And I've got my line going from the lower outer corner to the upper center. And with a unit this big, I'm going to pin it because there's a lot more fabric to be moving around and flopping around, whereas if it's a smaller piece, you can kind of keep your hand on the whole thing. So I'm going to put some pins in to hold those 2 pieces together. And when you sew, I recommend starting sewing at this end of the fabric in the center, because there's a little bit more fabric surrounding that corner for your feed dogs to grab onto. Sometimes when you start at this corner where there's not much fabric around it, it will get caught a little bit. So start in the center and stitch on that drawn line down to the corner. Okay, so I've got my first line stitched. And then one tip that I will share for doing quick corners is these triangles will be cut off. So what you can do is you can stitch another line that is a 1/2 inch away from the first line, and then stitch that right away as well, and you'll end up with a 1/2 square triangle unit of leftovers that you can use for a different project on the back, anything like that. But it's just a nice way to not waste that extra fabric. So what I'm going to do is draw that second line, and if you want, you can even draw both lines at once and then stitch them both at the same time. Okay, you can see I've got my 2 stitch lines here, and I used a brown thread here because with the colors that I'm using for this section of the quilt, I've got the sand and the olive and then 2 other darker colors. So I chose a dark neutral because you don't have to worry about the thread showing through with a dark color. So what I'm going to do is align, well, I'll do it this way in case you did not do the second set of lines, but I'm going to align the 1/4 inch line on my ruler on that original stitch line from corner to corner, and I'm going to cut. And so that makes this bonus 1/2 square triangle that you can set aside for another project. And then it makes half of our unit for the block of the month. So now we're going to press, and what I do is I first press on that stitch line to kind of set the stitches in, and then I fold it open and press again. And you want to make sure you have it folded all the way open so you don't have any little gaps. So now our unit is halfway done, and I'm going to take a second marked square and position it on the opposite end of my rectangle, and again put pins in. And I think this time what I'm going to actually do is draw that second line right away, and then I can stitch on both lines at once and make another bonus half square triangle. So I'm going to put a pin on each side, and you see I'm putting the pins far out to the side so that they're not getting in the way of my stitch lines. So I'm going to stitch down my original line and then stitch on the second line as well. Okay, I've got my second side stitched on, and I've got the second line of stitching for that bonus half square triangle. And I'm going to align the ruler on my original stitched line and cut between the two. So again, I've got my half square triangle bonus unit, and then I have my completed star point unit, also known as a flying geese unit. I'm going to press on the stitch lines and then press it open. And you can see I've got the 1/4 inch of overlap at the top, and that is where my seam allowance will be when I join these together. So I'm going to make 4 units like this, and then we'll look at how they go together. So once you have 4 of the larger star point units done with the olive and sand, we're going to add them to our center block. So going to position 1 on each side, and you want to make sure when you do this that you have the points going out from the center. It's super easy to sew one on like this, and then your star will not look like a star. I'm going to put 1 there and the last one right here. And then we've got a square for each corner. I'm running out of room a little bit, but you can see most of what's going on. And so what we're going to do is sew one of each of these units to our center here, and then sew the squares to opposite sides of the other 2 star point units, and then we'll join those together. So in order to make sure that our star point units are centered, what I'm going to do is to press and fold and press the center mark of the center block, and you can see I've got a little press line there. And then when I go to position this on, I want to make sure that that point is aligned with that center crease. So I'm going to pin that first, and then go out and pin the 2 ends. And then when I stitch, I'm going to stitch down this edge, and I'm going to make sure that my 1/4 inch seam allowance goes across right where those 2 stitch lines cross, and then I will have a really nice point there on my block. I've got the star point unit stitched onto the sides, and now I'm going to press them. So I'm going to press towards the center here. Okay. And then I'm going to press towards the center on the other side as well. Okay, now I'm going to set that aside. And I also stitched the top and bottom borders, so for these I'm going to press out to the corner squares, and that will allow my seams to nest as I put the unit together, and I'll show you how. So there's my center unit, and this is going to go on top. I'm going to double check and make sure I have it so the stars are pointed out. And so when I flip it over, I'm going to match up these 2 seams here, and the seam allowances will go in opposite directions. and that allows them to nest, which makes it so much easier to have your seams align. So I'm going to pin it at that seam line and then out towards the corner. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side and out towards the corner over here as well. Now, if you want, you can also do the same center marking like we did on the first side, but because we are pinning here and here, this is already pretty set, but I'll show you how to do that on the other side. So I'm going to fold it in half again and just press at that center point. And so now I'm going to put this on, and I always put it on this way first to double check that my points are going correctly, and then flip it over. So I'm going to make sure that that center where those seams cross aligns with that folded press that I made, and put a pin there, and then a pin at each of the seams like before and in the corners. And then I will stitch both of these top and bottom block borders on. Here we go. This block is getting so big it's hard to actually show the whole thing on camera, but here is the double star center, and now we're going to add 2 borders to it. I'm going to show you a couple border tricks. So the first borders that we're adding are 24.5-inch and 28.5-inch strips. And now most people have rulers that go to 24, and so then you're having to put 2 rulers together to cut those measurements. I'm going to show you my trick. And what you do is you keep your strip folded in half from when you cut it. So I've got the selvages down here, and then at this end I have the fold. And I'm going to take 24 and divide it in half, which is 12.25. So then I'm going to mark that on my ruler. So here's 12.25 is right on the fold line, and I've got the ruler aligned with my strip. And so if I cut this right here, I've got this excess, but this piece is going to be 24.5 because it's 12.25 times 2. So I'm going to do that with a second strip. You want to make sure when you do this that you are putting the ruler on your folded end, because otherwise you will end up with short strips and not strips of the length you want. So again, I'm dividing the length of the strip, which is 24.5, in half, which is 12.25, and cutting. So I've got these to go into my scrap stash, and I've got 2 strips that are the correct length. And the added bonus to that is when I go to sew these on, again, it's going to be hard to get the whole center in the camera, but I'm going to sew it onto here. So same thing as before, where I want to center it on what I'm putting it on. So I already have a built-in pressed line from my strip. So what I'm going to do is fold my double star block in half, and you can either hit it with the iron or just finger press it and then put in a pin to mark that center. And then I'm going to align that pin, that finger press line, with the fold line on my strip, because since we are building a medallion quilt, we're going to continue adding pieced rows out there. So we can't just sew the borders on, and if it's a little big or a little small, that's okay. We need our borders to make each unit the size that it is so they all fit together like a puzzle. So I want my center to be exactly 24.5 inches square, and so I will pin on my border of that number, and then as I sew it I can pull or stretch a little bit if I need to make sure that it is the correct size. So I've got some additional pins in, and then what you can do is sew on this side, and then as you sew you can see where your seams cross so that you end up with nice points. So you can do that purposefully as you stitch. So I've got the one border added there, and I'm going to do the same thing down here where I press it with my finger to mark that center point. Add in a pin. Oops. And then align the border on that center point as well. And that will help keep my quilt center nice and square and exactly the size that I want it to be. And we'll do the exact same thing with adding the next border. So the border that will go on these sides is going to be 28.5. So we'll take the strips, and half of 28.5 is 14.25. So we'll be cutting these to the folded strip to 14.25, which will give us our 28.5-inch strip so that we can add it in the same way. So here's what our center looks like with the first border added on. And now we're going to add a navy border, and we're going to do it in the same way. So for the navy border, I've got my strips cut, and they're still folded in half. And the two lengths we need are 28.5 and 30.5. So with the 28.5, we're back to the 14.25. So I'm going to put the 14.25 line on my fold and trim one strip and two strips. So those will go on first. And then we're going to do the 30.5-inch borders. I always want to make sure that my fold is over by my ruler side. And so 30.5 would be 15.25. So I'm going to do that. And then we'll add these in the same way, where we'll pin in the center and then at the ends, and then as we sew, eased to fit so that the quilt center ends up at this 30.5-inch size that our borders are. Got the navy border on as well, and here's what our double star center with two borders looks like. This is getting so big that next month I'll put it on the design wall, and then we'll start building the quilt around that. And that's what I love about Medallion quilts, is because you do assemble it as you go, so you get to see your progress each and every month. So that is the end of our month 2 video showing you how to make the Medallion Magic Block of the Month. Next month, we'll be adding these blue and white pieced borders that you see here. I'll show you how to make those and how to put those on as well as we work towards our finished quilt. And one more thing, don't forget to keep all of your fabric together. The quilt top in progress, as well as all of the other yardage and any scraps you have from each month. Just hang on to all of those, and that way you've got everything together when you're ready to do each month's sewing. So I hope you enjoy making this quilt with me. And like I said, if you stumbled upon this video and do not yet have the quilt kit, head over to Sit and Sew Fabrics and look for Medallion Magic Block of the Month and order the kit. The fabric will come to you, and then each month you'll receive the PDF instructions as well as the link to a video so you can sew along with me as you make your quilt.